足球明星的一些观点就可以了。
肯定是要付出一定代价的。
Chinese state television drops its plan to show Arsenal's match against Manchester City in the wake of comments made by Mesut Ozil.
You might have thought this was just the story of a lone footballer speaking out about China's human rights record, but it goes a bit deeper than that. As it happens, Arsenal is big business in China. The club is estimated to have almost 200 million Chinese fans. That's about 3 times the population of the UK, or 3,000 Emirates stadiums. And if that doesn't make you think they're serious about China, just take a look at the video Arsenal made to celebrate the Chinese New Year.
拜年了，一点心意。好好好，快进来。
No, I don't know what's going on either. But it doesn't look like what you'd expect from a club based in North London. So how could just one post on Twitter and Instagram put this all in jeopardy, leading to China cancelling the broadcast of Arsenal's Premier League match against Man City and booting Mesut Ozil out of the Chinese version of video game Pro Evolution Soccer 2020? Well, the midfielder's post strongly criticised the Chinese state's mistreatment of its Uyghur Muslim minority, something which China stridently denies.
但他似乎被一些假新闻蒙蔽了双眼，被一些不实之词。
And as shown by slashed and burned Arsenal gear on China's social media, when faced with a choice, many of the Gunners' Chinese fans were loyal to their state. Arsenal, however, chose to stay on the sidelines.
As a football club, Arsenal has always adhered to the principle of not involving itself in politics.
So why did Ozil's comments on the Uyghurs put him out on a limb? A bit of background. Over the last few years, China has detained more than 1 million Uyghur Muslims in prison camps, where human rights campaigners say they are brainwashed and subject to human rights abuses.
Сол лагерьде ол жердегілердің бәрі қорқады да, солардың айтқаны бойынша істейді. Енді далада билеп, ән айтып деген сияқты.
The BBC has documented the development of these camps and the crackdown of Uyghur rights in Xinjiang.
China is building a total surveillance state. It's a place where saying, doing, or even thinking the wrong thing can get you locked up in an internment camp.
Don't listen to fake news.
The Chinese government denies this.
There's no so-called labor camps, as you described. There's what we call vocational education and training centers.
So Ozil's post raises uncomfortable questions about the regimes football clubs deal with. Now, if this whole row feels familiar,
the National Basketball Association is working to mend its relationship with China.
The NBA recently got in hot water after the Houston Rockets manager tweeted support for pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong. This resulted in Chinese firms suspending sponsorship and telecast deals. The head of the NBA described the financial consequences as fairly dramatic. We're increasingly seeing these clashes because of the tension between China's attitude to human rights and their huge and lucrative appetite for sport. The stakes are high, with about 300 million fans and having spent over £500 million on the rights, China accounts for over 10% of the Premier League's foreign broadcasting revenue, and this demand isn't going anywhere. Well, as long as major footballers don't keep criticising the government. So what it really comes down to is how the clubs and Premier League are prepared to walk the tightrope between financial reward and human rights.